Awesome. Here we go. Hey everyone, it's Dirk here from the HA Mobile. Our vehicle has changed. I've upgraded. It's kind of empty right now, but I'm gonna like camperize it and then go like across the country and just do the HA Mobiles wherever elections are being held. But in any case, I want to first off.
You sounded too serious on that part.
I sounded too serious?
I really believe you're going to do that.
Exactly. I want to first acknowledge that we are doing these interviews on the lovely traditional territories of the Nanaimo First Nations. We have Leah, and I'm sorry, I don't even know how to pronounce your last name, so pardon me.
Leah Versaeval.
Versaeval, there you go. Well, thank you so much for joining us during these some interesting times. We're really glad to have you there, and I was actually most looking forward to this one because I know nothing about you. I actually... I have done some work for some of the other candidates, and so that's always a great opportunity for me to get to know the candidates. So I'm really glad you're here. So do you have a Class 2 driver's license by chance, which allows you to drive a bus?
I don't, but when I was on my way over, I was remembering the Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
And I felt very much like Miss Frizzle. So I don't think she had a Class 2 either. So I'm ready to go.
So that's bringing back lots of memories from when my daughter was that age watching. She loved that show, right?
Yeah.
And anyways,
my son is 24. So
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's good. I was just trying to recall some songs that we used to sing in the school bus when I was a kid. You know.
Well, the wheels on the bus.
Yeah, that's kind of the go-to. So let's see. Let's start off with some questions. Because you're sort of new to us, why don't you tell us 3 things about yourself that the world should know?
Well, I live on the island. I've been here since 1971. I came out when I was in high school. I came out here with my family.
Which high school? I guess
Claremont. I went to Claremont down, and we lived in Brentwood Bay. Mm-hmm. Then I went to Camosun and UVic, so I've been an island person for a long time. I've left to go and work and study and play in other countries, and this is home. The island is home.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
let's see what you got. What for you are the 3 most important issues that made you come forward to run in this election?
Well, this is a really strange year. A lot of people have been
really? Why is that?
A lot of people have been telling me, even people my age have been telling me this is the strangest year of their life. And I think that this is just a really critical time to step up and take responsibility for making sure that the people who are school age and who are coming up in the workforce have the reassurance that they will have a sustainable future. And I don't see that the current government has been taking that seriously, and so I really wanted to step up and make sure that some accountability and some sustainability and some mental health is just brought back into the picture.
Awesome. Thanks for that. I think I'm really curious to see in the future how, I think becoming a politician or running an office is a pretty scary prospect these days, particularly with social media. The flack you might get, the things we say that aren't true or whatever, and it's just it seems really dangerous. So I always really admire, even if they don't necessarily hold the same principles or values that I see as being important. I always think it's great that people are running forward, Zach, do you have a coffee there? Because I need more coffee. But you get what I'm getting at.
We are running forward.
Yeah,
you're right.
But it's about, I think it takes a lot of courage and strength to do that. So thank you for doing that. What are the 3 most important platforms for the Green Party?
Well, absolutely the climate, the crisis that we are in globally, but also how that is playing out locally. Also social justice issues and just access to services, mental health services. The opioid crisis, of course, started before the pandemic began and is ongoing and in many cases intensifying in these past few months. And also, of course, coming back to a kind of major issue is our preservation of old growth and being able to be sufficient in terms of food production locally.
Yeah, I tried growing a garden during the shutdown and didn't have much success.
Well, fortunately, some people have had success.
Yeah, no, it's good though. Like I actually, I actually realized what little success we did have. We still got lots of food. Like we had tons of tomatoes, and it was kind of neat to rediscover that. Like there were some kind of cool things that also came out of the pandemic. Some new learnings, at least for me. What relevant experience do you bring as a candidate for the Green Party?
Well, I have run in a provincial election once before. So back in 2017, I ran in the Nanaimo North Cowichan riding, which of course comes just to the edge of this street. Nanaimo is divided into three different electoral regions.
I just discovered that I am in the Parksville riding, and I thought I can't even actually vote for anybody who I'm interviewing here because they're not in my riding.
But the reality is that the lines have been redrawn many times, so it is hard to keep up. And of course, federally, the lines are entirely different again. But I also ran in a municipal level election in 2018, and that was in the Area H, which encompasses Thetis Island and the Saltaire area.
Right.
So politically, that's my experience.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And so far, what has been the most challenging experience so far during this campaign?
Well, the timing. Usually there's a few more months that you have to hit the ground running. We had to start overnight, and it was a little strange. We were having a meeting the other day where we were talking about some of the challenges, and we realized that we can now use so many forms of technology to reach people, and that in some ways that's almost an advantage. We don't have to be running around in vehicles and gassing up every other day to get to the areas of the riding that we need to get to. We can
lots of gas money for this thing.
we can talk to people in the comfort of their living room from the comfort of our living room or bus. Yeah. And it works. It works really well.
Nice. Awesome. What's brought you the most joy during this campaign?
Oh, talking to people, just getting the feedback about how encouraged people feel by the Green Platform this time, and how engaged people are, especially young people who are just voting for the very first time. It's been so encouraging to know that people are taking this responsibility seriously.
Did you get that, Zach? Okay, good. Yeah. No, it's great. And that actually is a great segue into why we're doing this on a bus. I wanted something that we could film in, that we could be social distance. I wanted people to see our faces, which is why I wanted to be far enough away that we could do this without masks.
Right.
And I had some connections in the school district, and I want to thank Dale Burgos from the school district who coordinated all this. And part of their buy-in was that I was going to have students ask some questions.
Yes.
We were going to have Aniko join us. She's from Wellington, and sadly something came up and she wasn't able to actually be here. But we did arrange to have her, to call her. So I'm going to give her a quick call now, and I got her on speed dial. I'll put her up, and I'll put that there, and hopefully.
So apparently all the honking is for your Green Party people there.
Oh. Hi Aniko, it's Dirk here. How are ya?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. We'll get you to speak up, please, just so we can hear you. We have Leah here from the Green Party, and thanks so much for joining us virtually. And you go ahead and ask your first question, please, Leah.
Okay. What action will you take to deal with homelessness and mental health on the streets of Nanaimo?
Okay, so I'm going to repeat that just so that we can hear it. So, sorry, what was the first bit again? Because I kind of missed that.
What action will you take to deal with homelessness and mental health on the streets of Nanaimo?
Did you get that?
I got that.
I'll get you to repeat it just so everyone else can hear.
Thank you, Aniko. And what you're asking is what actions I will take, what actions our party will take to deal with the homelessness issues and the number of people living on the streets in Nanaimo. I felt very blessed, particularly over a Thanksgiving weekend to be invited up to Wesley Street, which is where about 100 people are currently living on the weekends, and in fact every night of the week, where the Wisteria Community Association comes out and feeds people for a couple of hours every night. This is a real pressing issue, and the efforts that the current government has made in terms of buying up hotels and finding temporary shelters is really kind of an amateurish solution to a long-term problem. We need to go right back to dealing with this as a wraparound issue. We start out with keeping people healthy and encouraging wellness right from childhood all the way through life. Many of these people who are finding themselves in these circumstances are facing health and mental health issues that have not been addressed. And we need to improve that situation for everyone, but particularly this demographic. And there are people who are there who are teenagers right up into their 70s and 80s. This is just a heartbreaking situation. We need to find buildings that can be remediated quickly and work with levels of government like the city and the federal government to make sure that when people need permits to do asbestos remediation or whatever needs to be done to make those buildings not only capable of cooking hot meals for people, but that they can sustain themselves year-round with some funding. We also need to make sure that people are not considered to be like aliens because they are homeless. We know, especially in this year of economic crisis, that there has been a huge number of us who have been challenged, not only in terms of our ability to maintain employment, but to maintain our housing. A lot of people in Canada are like one paycheck away from homelessness. So this is not a short-term or an immediate issue. This is something that needs to be addressed with long-term solutions.
I think we have time for one more questions from Aniko. Did you have a quick follow-up to that, Aniko, or do you want to just go on to your next question?
I think I'll just go on to my next
Awesome.
question.
Go ahead.
What are your plans to support truth and reconciliation in Nanaimo?
Great question. So that question was, how are you going to support truth and reconciliation here in Nanaimo?
Thank you for that question, Aniko. I was very privileged and honored to be able to work for a year, up until last year, with the Tillicum Lalem Aboriginal Society in Nanaimo as a adult basic education teacher. And one of the things that I realized very early on was that I was learning more than I was teaching. My awareness of the 94 calls to reconciliation was absolutely exponentially expanded by my experience in working with people who were coming to school there. And it's not something that we can just pay lip service to. We need to understand that these calls are to persons. These calls are to you and to me. We need to make progressive steps towards restoring languages, towards restoring dignity, towards restoring communities that have been absolutely torn apart by not only the residential school experience, but by the racism that persists until today.
Awesome. Do you have a quick follow-up to that, Aniko?
No.
Okay.
That.
Thank you so much for joining us, Aniko. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Aniko.
And hopefully hopefully you can share this video on your social media formats when it's completed. Thanks so much. Bye bye for now. Okay. That was great. That was. I'm just going to get my timer back on so I can actually see. We're going to wrap this up here pretty quickly. I wanted just a quick reminder to folks that we've got the All Candidates meeting. That's tomorrow night. That starts at 6:30 p.m. at the Shaw Auditorium. You can go on to the Nanaimo Chamber website, so www.nanaimochamber.bc.ca. And you go on there, and there's a little button to live stream the candidates. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I would like to know, what are you thankful for?
I am thankful for this incredible place in which we get to live.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I have friends and family and food and clean water and just a community that is so supportive of one another.
Awesome. Thank you. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I want to thank Zach Tanner. God, Zach Tanner, that's your name, right, Zach? Yeah, something like that. He was very kind to help out with the filming on this. Obviously, conditions were a little different. Thanks, Zach, for that. Thank you, Leah, for joining us. Thanks to the school district for giving us the bus and making this all happen. Thanks to Dale, who coordinated all of that from the school district. Thanks to Aniko Lara Shell, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, for her questions. I want to thank you for sharing this video and allowing other people to get to know our candidates. And most importantly, go out and vote. You can vote by mail. You can vote in person October 24th, right? That's it?
Or now.
Or now. There you go.
Tomorrow is the first advance voting.
There you go. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye for now. It's Dirk.